and welcome to my channel, AB Make It Artwork, where we do what we do to make that artwork for you. And if you're new to my channel, maybe hit that subscribe button, join the AB Creative crew. We do sketchy art things. Again, this series is brought to you by Hotel Closet, where we do all the best audio in our hotel closet. As you probably tell by the title, this is going to be an art ramble, but it's gonna be a ramble on this piece and some other stuff. I decided to draw a steampunk mermaid, or a steampunk aesthetic themed-ish mermaid. And the reason for this is because Procreate on Instagram put out their own prompt list for MerMay, and they have some really weird prompts, I gotta say. Like, you'll probably end up, like, the first day was space, and I didn't do that because they put it out the first day of MerMay. And the second day is steampunk, as you can see here. And the other ones are, like, interesting in theory, kind of a mess in practice. I don't know. But I figured it'd be kind of fun that if I don't know what to do with my mermaid, maybe just pull up a Procreate prompt for the month. So that's why we have this steampunk aesthetic mermaid. And there's a lot of browns, a lot of oranges. I feel like I ended up with a similar palette to my last piece, but I wanted the browns and oranges, the kind of coppery tones, and neutral browns. Well, neutral warmish grays that lean into browns, because I feel like those are really good colors for the steampunk aesthetic. And there were a couple of flops, a little of mess-ups, but I think the end result was still pretty nice. For instance, when I went about coloring the piece, I started with the tail, because that was the part I was most excited for, I guess. I love the shape of the tail, I like working on the tail, and again, using the soft pastel brush when I go in to make the scales, the big scales that give us a nice cohesive pattern. And then it's not splatter, it's flicks that I use in the spray paint gallery of brushes from Procreate when I do the little shinier scales for like smaller highlights and on the body. I like giving this iridescent shimmer to the body to kind of allude to the ideal that this is a fantastical creature and not a person, although it has human-like qualities. And there was a point at which I drew the hands and the face on a layer above the torso, and I messed it up by merging them down onto the torso layer. And I want to say it was kind of a mess up to like merge these layers because I wanted to sandwich the rock between the torso and the hands, but I had to draw over it and erase away. So that's just something I'll learn for like next time, because that's how you learn. You learn by messing up and doing better next time. Well, I learned by messing up 7 times and then maybe learning next time that this is a repeated cycle of mistake. Let's not do it again. Speaking of repeated cycles, I'm trying to get into the good habit of following a healthier routine. And seeing as how I've passed that certain expiration date that comes with your body with like having a higher metabolism when you're young, as my health class instructor would tell us, like once you reach 21, your metabolism slows down kind of drastically. And I've come to find that very true in my 22nd and 23rd year of life, because I gained a lot of weight over one winter, and I'm trying to work it off. Guam did not help. Guam is too hot to do anything. 70 to 90 degrees with 60 plus humidity all the time. Ugh. Can't do jack squat there. Well, there's actually a lot to do. It's really pretty there, and they got great food, and that's the problem. Too hot to do exercise, too hilly, too many street lamps in the city, and it's kind of scary to go at night by yourself when you're a little lady that's kind of pudgy and putzing around. But here in Virginia, there's actually a really nice little track that I can run around a few laps and then walk some laps and then go back and forth between walking and running. And I'm trying to... I used to hate this ideal as a kid, but now I'm like, I am fat. It used to make me feel fat as a moody, emotional teenager, but now I am fat and I need to lose weight, so I'm calorie counting. And I don't know, part of me's kind of excited for the experience now. I don't know why, because maybe it feels like homework and homework feels like stability, and that seems kind of stupid if you're younger to think homework is stability. Nah, throw that shit out. We don't do that. we don't do it that. Nuh-uh. And it's like, once you're an adult and you're married, and it's like there's one person who is kind of the provider, and like you're moving around a lot, so you can't get jobs quite as frequently, especially in this market. Kind of hard to get a job. But I'm not really complaining about that aspect. I get bored. I get lonely. So having little things like the calorie counting, which I've only like started doing today, doing exercise with videos and going out to this little track to maybe meet people. It's in a safe area, so I don't feel uncomfortable because I'm one of a few people that does it. Does use the track. Sometimes my husband uses it too. And it feels good. First couple days, I hurt a lot from doing it, but it feels good to have a routine, and I'm hoping to keep up with that kind of routine and maybe better myself for my life and my awareness. So, as you probably saw on the screen, there's some color adding, and I did an overlay and a multiply layer to add the blue, because I wanted some of the water to kind of have some contrast, like she's in the foreground. I kind of wanted to make the water a little interesting compared to the brown and coppery toned background stuff and the mermaid. But it seems we're pretty close to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this ramble today about steampunk mermaids and getting into routines. If you want to follow me on any of my other social media, I have a DeviantArt, an Instagram, a Tumblr, a Twitter, and a Pinterest that I use for resources. If you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more sketchy art content. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are, and as always, make sure to do what you do to make that artwork for you. Lots of love. Bye.